another thing, I've got a meeting soon with a council officer because one of my clients is getting evicted. So I can't stay on the full Zoom. Is that all right? I'm really sorry. I just
Again,
wanted to come
I
in and,
don't care. That's absolutely fine.
all right. I just didn't want to be rude and not come on.
No, that's fine. Hey, Cliff, you made it. Oh, look at poor Daisy. Oh gosh, love, you look like you've come out of a cage fight with your tongue and your headpiece and
Oh no, I'm
oh
all
no.
right.
All right.
Sorry, I've got my ice pack on my head at the moment to try and get rid
Okay.
of my temperature.
Oh God. Well, listen, like, I mean, we're not going anywhere. If you want to like check out and come back next week, that's fine too.
No, it's all right. I'm gonna stay as long as I can.
I mean, we've already had to put up with earlier an excuse of as, oh, I got to go to hospital. So, you know, next Cliff's gonna say, oh well, the dog ate my homework.
I'm going to use that now. It's a good one.
Okay, well, Charlie's sick, so he sends apologies. And somebody else sent apologies who I can't remember. Oh, I think that was you, Daisy.
Um,
But
no,
you're here.
Ella's working, I think.
Okay. All right. So just to let you know, this is being streamed to an unlisted broadcast. And if at any time you guys wanted to stop being streamed or deleted, I will do that. The reason that we're doing that is so we can gather the evidence for the researchers and clever people to just kind of evidence how this is working. And is that LA Lisa?
It is indeed.
Oh my word, we are blessed,
You are honoured.
honored. Great. All right, everyone. Well, let's go. Let's start. Let's kick off. We start with a
check-in.
great stuff. Okay, so who wants to build the container? You're all going to have to do it once, so you might as well.
Yeah, I'm happy to. If
Okay.
no one else is.
You've done it before, Katie, but okay, go for it, love. I love your enthusiasm. Go.
Okay, so I'm checking in today feeling enthusiastic, and eager to do some learning and talking. And I would like to pass it on to Alia.
Thank you. I'm checking in and I'm grateful to be back here on the meeting. I missed last week. And I'm feeling very positive and motivated. Had a big list of things I needed to do yesterday and I've got through it. So yeah, I feel good. I'll check in with Cliff. Pass it over to Cliff.
Cliff, you're on mute.
Unmute. And then he's going, oh, fucking hell, where's your unmute button? There we go.
Yeah,
nice to hear you, Cliff.
Teething problems with the iPad, so but yeah, I'm checking okay. I'm on the mend from 2 weeks being flat out with COVID. It's not been very nice, but finally testing negative for it, but still not 100%, but getting there anyway. So yeah, I've been to the recovery cafe this morning, so yeah, feeling blessed.
Welcome,
and
Cliff.
I'll pass it over to Lisa.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm okay. I'm struggling a bit with jet lag. Just returned from holiday, so a bit sleepy. First day back at work today, which is giving me a headache. Yeah, busy mind already. Yippee! And I will hand over to. Oh, I can't even see anyone. That's another issue I'm having. It's Daisy. Daisy on.
Yeah.
Go, Daisy.
I'm checking in, feeling rough. I've woken up with a really high temperature today. I've taken some paracetamol to try and bring it down, but it's not coming down. So I've got an ice pack on my head and I'm feeling freezing cold, but hey ho. But I thought I'd join because I'm going to feel rough either way, so I might as well be here and feeling rough. So yeah, excited.
Yeah.
How about you,
Taking
David?
it back to me. Okay, good. So I'm checking in. Excited to see you all. And to also let you know that we're expanding the number of classes. So we'll have a 2-hour class on a Tuesday between 10 and 12, which you're allowed to join as well if you can. And just to kind of bring some more Leros together. So we're creating a community of practice. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. So where should we go today? Cliff, have you been here before? I can't remember.
I have.
You have, okay. And Daisy, I know you've been here before. And Lisa and Katie, you're both old timers. Yeah. So the requirement is for certification that you come here for 10 sessions, 10 2-hour sessions. So you get 20 hours, but you're going to have to tell us when you've done that. Yeah. And then your manager in your organization will then be, once you've kind of said I've done the hours and everything, we'll check in with your manager, team lead, or someone and just say, do you think this person's fit for the role? And they'll say yes, and then we'll issue you the certificate. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. I suggest you complete the hours as quickly as possible. Okay.
David, how do I join on a Tuesday as well?
It's the exact same Zoom room.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it's this link, and then we'll stream it to Recovery Connections, and there we keep the body of evidence. And if anyone ever came along and said, well, where's the proof of we can say, well, there's the class, and there's the people that attended, and there's the transcript, and there's blah blah.
What time, David, is it at 2 o'clock on Tuesday?
10 o'clock, mate.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that in my diary now, 2 seconds.
Cool, no problem. Hey Claire, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Good. Would you like to check in?
I'm checking in all right. Looking forward to the weekend so I can just chill. But it's been a busy week.
If I was to read your body language, I would say you were tired.
I'm always tired, David.
Oh, okay.
But I do feel extra tired today.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I'm due a break. That's what's wrong with us. I'm due a break. But I do apologise I'm late again. So I have a women's group before this.
It's absolutely fine, Claire. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so we've had a couple of apologies. And just to summarize, we're going to be meeting again on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock in this Zoom room, where we're going to bring some other people from other Leros and organizations as well to join, just to mix it up. And that's a community. Pardon?
Sorry, is that instead of this Thursday one?
No, it's the same as this Thursday.
Right.
The difference being, though, is the Thursday is a systemic wellness practitioner, where you guys are all working for an organization. A community of practice is just other people doing the coaching training and things like that. Some come from organizations, others don't. And it would be a good idea to kind of mix it up. So if you guys wanted to do some practice coaching or something, that it's not just like, oh, fuck, I've got to coach Cliff again. Okay, well, what are we going to talk about now? I've coached you 10 times. I know you're passionate about dogs and football and, whatever. I don't know if you're passionate about dogs, Cliff, but I know you do like the football.
Yeah, I like my dog, yeah.
Okay. All right. So where should we go? We've created the container. We've checked in. We've done some housekeeping. Was there any homework from the last? Okay, so let's assume there wasn't. Okay. So where are we going to go today? Why don't we just whip around the room quickly and everyone just say what their role is within their organization? So Katie, why don't you kick off with the Raw volunteer coordinator, if I remember correctly?
That is correct. Yeah, I am the coordinator for Raw, which means that I interview, on board, generally look after volunteers, and do 3,000,001 other things that I was not aware of when I took on the job. And yeah, it's a good role, and it's an interesting role, and it's very varied, but a little bit stressful. So that's me.
Okay, good. And I always love the sounds in the background.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm serious. It's not. I've just been on a call with Bruno, who's in a rural area in Uganda, and then you can hear the chickens going kikeriki in the background. Okay. All right, Cliff, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I'm Cliff. I'm a volunteer, coordinator, group facilitator for both Forward Trust and Raw. Facilitate groups, one-to-one meetings. What else can I say? One-to-ones, outreach with Raw.
Great.
Yeah, that's basically it.
All right. And Daisy, you're the fundraiser.
I am. I'm the lead fundraiser for Raw. So, and just volunteer in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Alia, are you still there?
No, it's all right, I'll go in a different room. Yeah, sorry, my other work colleagues just came in the office. So I'm a recovery support specialist from Recovery Connections.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
And it looks like you.
I actually need to leave in a sec. Sorry, can I do a checkout? Because I need to leave for my appointment.
Yeah, it looks like you've been evicted. Okay.
Yeah. I'll see you though, David, on Tuesday. So I'll do it next Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay, good.
All right. See you later, guys.
Good
Bye.
luck. Bye. Okay. Claire?
I'm a community coach for Recovery Connections in Gateshead. I facilitate a number of groups and have a caseload of people that I work with one-to-one to support them in their addiction.
Okay. You don't sound very enthusiastic about your role when you talk about it.
No, I love it really. I'm just tired today.
No, I got it. Okay, let's go to Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I am chair of Raw. Yeah, volunteer. That's pretty much it.
Cool. All right. So what are the challenges that you're facing in your current role?
Communication, commitment, confusion. That's 3 C's for starters.
Communication, commitment, and
confusion.
all right. Who else? The dog's fine. So we created the container, I asked what the agenda was, and then I asked an open question. Yeah, once I got, yeah, and the question was, what are the current challenges that you're facing in your role? Is that correct? That's correct, yes? I think, yeah. Okay. So
What
we
personal challenges or general challenges?
yeah,
Personal challenges.
whatever. A challenge is a challenge.
Mm. Okay, yeah, commitment.
Commitment as well. Okay. All right. And then I guess Daisy's got the challenge of being physically unwell.
Yes.
And the pressure of like, oh fuck, I got to do this training. I'm unwell. I might as well do it because, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's also a challenge.
Yeah. And getting people to donate to my bloody crowdfunder.
Good luck with that, love.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
That's a huge challenge. Claire?
I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but the challenge that I've been facing is getting the numbers up for women that come into the service. Yeah, been trying to work on finding ways to help women engage and looking at the barriers. So yeah. We have now actually started. So there's a women's and community group that meet up once a month in the local area, and we hosted it this month in our hub that we use. So hopefully that'll continue and get to meet other people from different organisations and get our heads together and try and tackle that issue.
Okay. Lisa? Struggles being the chairperson. Oh, the size says it all.
Yeah, I think communication's a big issue. I think I'm a bit out of the loop because I've been away. So yeah, I'm not really up to speed with things at the minute. So yeah, but I think communication is a massive issue in lots of ways.
Okay. So what are some of the solutions?
If I knew that, I'd have done it.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay. Yeah, so I really appreciate that honesty because, like, fuck, I'm sure you've tried lots of things.
I think a solution is taking the initiative, which I try to do, but then sometimes you are taken away from other people. If you're one person who is for always trying to take initiative with communication and stuff, then other people don't build up their own responsibilities and that kind of thing. So it's tricky.
So change the language to I. Yeah. Yeah. So what I find is I take initiative and then I take it away from someone else. And as a result of that, that person doesn't do their role.
Yeah. That's definitely it.
Okay.
But as
I'm
a solution, I'm trying to clarify people's roles within the organization so that they do then know what they're responsible for, and they can then hopefully be a bit more accountable. That's kind of one of the solutions.
So one of the solutions is getting clear and holding people accountable.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm a fucking volunteer here. Can't tell me what to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's a lovely laugh. What's in your laughter, Katie?
Sorry.
What's in your laughter?
Actual the truth of
The
a thing, you know,
truth.
the humor in the truth of the matter, even if it's not said, you know, sometimes those underlying thoughts are there. And thankfully I have the humor and the capacity to laugh at that.
All right.
Because we're human.
So even though I made a joke out of it, it was true. Yeah. So holding people to account that are volunteers is quite difficult because the consequence is what? Well, I'm not paid for this. I don't need to show. Okay. And that's a challenge. That really is a challenge. I'm not sure what the solution is, but I am aware of the challenge. Cliff?
Pass.
Pass, did you say?
Pass.
Okay, good.
Sorry, no, go on. I'll add to it. Yeah, I mean, the frustration is on the commitment side. You know, when it's people commit to something, but I don't think they realise exactly what they're committing to,
Right, okay.
which is quite frustrating.
Okay.
You know, if people make a commitment, they should be fully aware of the commitment that they're committing to.
Okay. So give us an example for you, Cliff, and thank you so much for coming back in.
Sorry, yeah, I mean, people saying that they're going to do things and not doing them, basically, you know, or, you know, not being available when you need them to be available because you're relying on them because they've already said that they will, but they don't.
Okay. And how does that impact you personally?
Well, it leaves me unsupported.
Okay. So I feel unsupported. Yep. And so when I feel unsupported, I get angry.
No, I don't get angry. I get frustrated.
Yeah. For me, that's a type of anger. It's like, oh, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
I've got to do everything myself. I've got no support around here. No thanks. What's the fucking point? That's where I can go. I'm not saying you're going there. I'm just saying that's where we're.
Yeah, it is easy to go down that road, but I mean, I don't go down that road. It's just the frustration of having to do things on your own and not having the support there when people have said that they're going to be there.
Okay. So what is that road that you don't go down so that I can learn how to avoid that road?
The road I don't go down is just saying, "Oh, fuck it," and just throw my cards in. You know, I just soldier on and just carry on doing what I'm doing. You know, even though that I'm doing it on my own, but you know, I'm capable. It's not that I'm not capable of doing it on my own. I'm fully capable of doing it on my own, but it's just not having that support there when you feel that to be in the role that you're portraying, you should be supported and not be flying solo.
It's difficult, huh?
I mean, I'm talking in general for, you know, for outreach work and stuff like that. I mean, if you're going out and you like, you know, you're a presence, it's like it's not really good just being a solo presence. It's better to have a team with you.
Yeah. Okay. So
You know, that's just broken sometimes, but you know, it's just part and parcel of being a volunteer. You know, it's what it is.
Okay. Claire? Do you resonate with any of this?
Not really, because that's not my field. Don't do the volunteer side of things.
Okay, so you get paid for something,
Yeah.
and do people still turn up because you're getting paid?
Well, yeah, I suppose when you put it like that, for the groups that I facilitate, sometimes nobody shows up for a group. Today, my women's group, only one person showed up, which makes facilitating the group a bit harder. It's easier when there's more people in the room so they can, just have the conversations themselves and, set the container. Yeah. So yeah, when you put it like that, yeah, I get your point. It can be.
Well, the stories are slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the feelings are the same.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It is frustrating, but there's nothing I can do about it. I can't change it. I can't, drag people in from the streets by the hair or anything like that. So just got to crack on and get on with it. And, maybe my solution for that is to advertise my groups better.
Okay. So to come back to communication for you. Okay. All right. Daisy, you up for talking, or is that head just going whoop 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 whoop?
I'm all right.
Okay.
I don't have much to say. Yeah, communication is difficult, especially when, like, for me, quite a lot of what I was doing with the crowdfunder relied on getting things from other people. And obviously when communication is slow, that makes my job slower, which means that, everything gets pushed back until that person gets back to me. But then I think that I put that on myself as well, because I did it very last minute. And if I had pre-planned and started earlier, then I wouldn't have been so anxious to get those things so quickly from that other person. So really, it's not just their fault, it's also my fault. And I need to take responsibility for my own work and not put that pressure on other people because I've decided that I'm doing it at 10 o'clock at night the day before it's due.
Okay. All right. So you've got some insight to yourself of what you could have done better. That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
Lisa?
I think that was a really good answer from Daisy.
I think so too.
Because I think it's recognizing everybody's part in something. So obviously, I think it was raised a minute ago about commitment being a challenge and a frustration, but it's which it is 100%. I get it, but there's like another arm. You need to have the understanding of other people's situations and things as well. I think in the area that we're in, it's very, what's the word? I don't want to say the word reliable, because that's not, it's sort of what I mean, but it's not. I don't want to turn and say no, people aren't reliable. It's not that. It's just things can change quite quickly, I suppose, in this environment as well. And I think we need to be able to we need to be able to adapt to that in a supportive way, which is hard when you're I don't have an answer for this. I'm just sort of bumbling along here, but I just, yes, it's frustrating if someone lets you down at the last minute, but maybe it's actually, let's just reflect on that a little bit. What's happening for them? Can we support them? And what can we do to try and avoid the situation in the future, rather than, or they weren't there. That was really annoying. Just let everybody down. You know, I suppose just asking those extra questions, and having a bit more understanding around people's individual circumstances, I suppose. Is it a situation where we need to not be relying on individuals too much? Are we putting too much pressure on certain individuals? That kind of thing. But again, this is all around communication. So it's having the communication lines open in all areas to be able to have those conversations and get that understanding.
Yeah.
Don't even know if I answered the question there, to be honest.
Got it.
Can't remember what it was.
So I really liked what you said, Lisa. Yeah. And part of my work has been able to adjust myself and my expectations to the chaos of the environment that I'm choosing to work in. Yeah. So for example, just working in Africa, you know, and people aren't at class on time. In the beginning, I was like, fuck, we said we were starting at this time. And then people wander in fucking 3 hours later. It was only when I got to understand their circumstances could I get a bit of empathy and understanding and adjust accordingly. However, still being able to maintain the integrity of the organization and what we're trying to achieve.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's not fucking easy.
Mm.
That's why I swear and I use humor and I try and make light of it, because I'm certainly not doing it for the money.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Everybody's doing it for their own reasons, and it fits in. Some people can offer more than others in time wise, or others have got, you know, greater skills they can offer. And, you know, it is, I think that's where it's, you know, it's recognizing, like you say, the area that we're working in here, and everything that's associated with that, because especially with a lived experience recovery organisation. So already, yeah, we're working in a difficult area, but we've all got or had some association in that area, which makes us a lived experience organisation. But we've all got needs, and we never know when we're going to need some time out. You know, that is a difficult thing to manage. But I get it as well. So to me, yeah, exactly. I'd be the first. Anyone is, you absolutely need to look after yourself. But yes, it's hard to manage that when you're in an environment where, you know, you've got a couple of people. We try and have at least 2 people a group, that kind of thing. And then you haven't got that. So then you have to either not have the group. If one person's happy to go on their own, maybe. But, you know, there's a lot of chicken and eggs. And it is, I think sometimes, and I don't really know how else to, you know, I think it has to be down to the individual to make the calls sometimes. We can't make that for them. Yes, it's a really difficult one. I think the area and the juggling of the volunteers' needs, as well as, you know, client needs and things like that, are really, really important. It's all equally as important.
Yeah, and I think it can be quite hard, because I think a lot of us we're very willing to please. Like we're people pleasers. We want to say yes when we're offered to do something.
Attended to the eye.
I am such a big people pleaser, and I will always say yes to everything. And then I'm stuck with all this stuff I've said yes to, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe I can't say yes, maybe I can't do it. You know, I'm sitting there going, like this fundraising thing. I said yes to being the lead fundraiser. That was on my back, and part of me is a bit like, why the fuck did I say yes? I don't know what I'm doing. And don't get me wrong, I'm figuring it out, and I will know what I'm doing, but you know, I think I'm so eager to just say yes because someone said that I can do it. So I'm like, yes, 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 yes. And then I look at all this stuff I've got to do, and I'm like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. And then I don't want to let people down. And it's this cycle of saying yes and torturing yourself so that you don't let people down. So I think I'm very conscious of not trying to put too much on other people, because people will say yes. If you ask them to do something, more than likely they will say yes, even if they don't have time to do it. or don't want to do it.
So part of your people pleasing, yep, you don't want to put that on other people because you know it's your problem, yeah. However, you still show up and say yes, yes, yes yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. How is that helpful to the organization?
Well, I do everything I say yes to.
No, that I get, Daisy. That I get. The question. So remember, we're here for systemic wellness practitioners. So we're just trying to practice being well in the system, knowing we've got all our fucking, like, we want to go out and rescue and help the world and volunteer, and recovery's fantastic, kumbaya, and that's all this. And then these fuckers don't listen, they don't show up, they don't
Can I say something?
Please.
Like, I think it's so, like, you're asking Daisy, like, the impact really of just saying yes all the time, and she's like, well, I do what I say. From my point of view, I'd rather she said no sometimes if it's too much for her, because that's great. I don't feel like that wouldn't be a letdown. It wouldn't be negative. You're seeing saying no as a negative, when actually, if you flip it over, it's a positive, because you do need to have that self-care element in there as well. Yeah. And if you're overstretching yourself and doing that, you're going to start being resentful. You lose your passion for it. You'll make yourself ill in the process. So just putting it out there, I would much rather people were honest than say stuff because they think that they have to do it. That's my feeling on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just, to me, it takes practice, doesn't it? Yeah. But I have said no to Katie in the past, so I'm doing it. I'm getting there.
She is. She started to, but it is really difficult, isn't it? And my position is really difficult because I'm sort of got my foot in two camps with this, really, because I completely get all that. I'm also trying to help hold this together, to coordinate it. And I'm not saying that as if I'm the only one who's doing it at all, but that's just, my position. But then also I'm trying to follow the governance from our parent organisation, who are putting massive blocks in my way. Yesterday I actually, if we're being candid here, I had a meeting with a woman, and if I could have reached my hand through the screen and grabbed her throat, I would have done, because the frustration is massive and it's very hard, taking all this on board, the great work people do and are willing to do, and then it being made more difficult by fucking bureaucracy and people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, if I'm completely honest.
Okay. So let's
little outburst there.
No, wonderful. So first of all, let's just take a pause, and I just want to see what is the energy in the container. For me, it feels quite engaging now. When we started, it felt like, oh fuck, how are we going to get this plane to fly? Yeah, that's so I'm watching the energy of the container and just trying to dance with it. Okay, so I just wanted to say that as a teaching piece, yeah, that we're looking at the container. All right. So yesterday, Katie, you wanted to put your hand through the screen and grab someone and wring her fucking neck. I think those were the words you used. Yeah. How does it feel to just voice that?
It feels great. It feels great.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Now, I want you to imagine what it's like for that person in their role.
Yeah. And I usually do. I'm pretty good at that because I know they have pressure
Yeah. I get that.
Mm,
Like, fuck
mm.
that. I just want to like
Okay.
imagine what it's like. We're
Yeah.
just trying to, so
Mm.
we're just working in the system. Yeah. On the one hand of the system, there's people are being asked to volunteer and work for free and to deliver solutions. On the other hand of the system, it's like bureaucracy, paperwork, safeguarding, all this sort of stuff. Yeah. And I mean, just talking about it makes Daisy yawn.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I promise you. It's all good. It's all good. We're just trying to, yeah. Okay. So what is the role of the person that you want to wring their neck?
She is the overall volunteer coordinator for our parent company.
Okay. All right. So it's somebody with a similar role as you
Mhm.
that is in a position that's above yours
Yeah.
in a parent company that
Yeah.
is overseeing this company. Okay,
Yeah.
great. All right. And what was the tension here? What
Um,
needed to be communicated? What was the
I
confusion that was being created?
things that had already been agreed because our organization is going in a very different direction to the parent company, and that
Correct.
has been explained. However,
Okay.
because we are still using their systems, she's still imparting her stuff onto me, which is actually already been agreed that doesn't need to be done. So
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
rock and
All right.
hard place.
Okay. So again, let's step back. Yep. So when we're going around a conversation again and again, even though we've agreed something, that's called cycling. Yep. So I thought we agreed you weren't gonna fucking shoot smack anymore. And yes, you come here and you're using again. I thought we agreed you were going to stop. It's that kind of, I'm just making a light joke out of it. Like, just people relax. Fuck. Okay. So, okay. So you're still engaged you're still bound by technology, by the systems. Okay. Right, let's just whip around the room. I just want to get a temperature checked. An emotional, not an actual physical one, Daisy, because we know
I was
you've
going
got
to
a
say
high
probably about
temperature.
39.
Yeah. Just a weather reading. Yeah. So I'm feeling a bit of joy, but still a bit of anxiety of like, fuck, is this helpful? Are we going somewhere? Okay, Daisy, I'll tag you.
I'm feeling tired, but I think the conversations we're having are good, about the communication and the commitments and all of that. I mean, it's so important to Raw that it needs to be spoken about. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm interested. Katie.
Thank you, Daisy. Yeah, I'm feeling quite impassioned, and I'm feeling joyful. I can see the humor in the situation that I am in a lot of the time, thank God. And it is useful to just be able to air that stuff, even if right now there's not a solution.
Okay, great. Okay. Who you tagging?
I'll take Cliff.
I'm just feeling thankful of listening to productive communication.
Great. Oh, that really eased my anxiety, Cliff. And he said, I'm just feeling thankful. It's like, oh God, okay. Thank you, Cliff. That was lovely. Who are you tagging, mate?
Who's not been forward yet? Lisa?
Yeah, I think it's a good conversation. It's good to have, for me, I think it's good to have a bit of a two-way conversation around it, like a discussion. I'm feeling it's, yeah, really useful.
Oh. Lisa tags Claire.
I do. I was just about to do that. I went on mute and then I thought, oh shit. Yeah.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, finding the conversation really interesting, and it's making me think of things that I could do differently. Like I was saying before, advertising the groups a bit better and stuff like that. So it's good.
And some of the challenges you're listening to, hearing, Claire,
Yeah.
are there the same challenges in your organization?
Yeah, people not showing up, and I know the volunteer coordinator, she just get frustrated with her volunteers sometimes as well. So yeah, I think it's happens all over, doesn't it?
Okay, great. So it's a thing that goes with the territory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. So what I like about things that kind of go with the territory, for me, it breaks the isolation of thinking, oh fuck, I'm doing something wrong. Everyone else has got it right. Yeah. It makes me think, okay, well, I'm not the only one. And then I think, okay, but what can I do to try and alleviate that? So like when Daisy said, oh, well, I must stop kind of sending things out at 10 o'clock at night, expecting other people to do things because I've stalled things. I really related to that because I go like, oh my God, I got to communicate on LinkedIn. And then I fucking start posting 5 posts a day for a week, and then people are completely overwhelmed by me. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of stuff as well. I'm feeling quite energized by this now. Where are we going?
I think, David, I think it's good to make us like it makes us sit back and be more aware of the fact that the field that we're in is a field of chaotic, you know, lifestyles, and we've experienced this ourselves in the past. So therefore, we really should have more empathy for others around us, because I mean, this is the field that we're in, and it comes with the territory. It is what it this is what it is, and and we have to become accustomed to it being like this. There's no magic solution. Sorry.
Don't say sorry. You're on the money. That's exactly what it is. What I would like to add to that, though, is to have some empathy for ourselves in the field as well. Yeah. So Daisy feeling despondent about, oh fuck, Jesus, I've put together this fundraiser, nobody's donating. It's like, yeah, it's like, oh, I've given up chasing funds many years ago just because it's so hard to get money out to people.
Everyone keeps saying how good the video is, how good the page is. No bloody donations, though.
Yeah. Here comes Cal. Here comes the higher power, the smiler. Hello, Cal.
Hey, how are you? Sorry, I'm
Well,
late.
yeah, thanks for coming to this intervention. What we wanted to do is talk to you about your attitude and your commit. Nice to see you, mate. You want to check in?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, pleased to be able to come on here for an hour. Yeah, just happy to be here.
Good for you. All right. Who would like to summarize for Cal? Anyone except Daisy. And Cal, just so you know, Daisy's got a headache. She's not hiding her face because of you, just in case you felt. Cliff, are you up to summarizing for Cal?
Yeah, Cal, we've just been speaking about the frustration of commitment around us, either from a personal level or from those around us, and what we expect from people and what we get, basically. And the bottom line is that I think we all realise that it's a chaotic lifestyle. It's a chaotic field that we're in anyway. So we have to have more empathy around that. Does that sort of sum things up?
Yes, Cliff.
Does anyone want to add to that?
And yeah, empathy for ourselves too.
Yeah.
So there's some acceptance around the field that we're in, but we also mustn't get caught up in the thing that, well, that's the way it is, and then just kind of accept it and then become part, get kind of caught up in what's the word I'm looking for? To not fight for change, to not
Caught up in the complacency.
complacency. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go, Katie. Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, with you, Katie, it would be something like, listen, this has already been agreed. Yeah, we're moving forward with this. Yeah. What do I need to do to help it, to make it easier for you to accept that we're not fucking using your systems anymore? We're moving on. I'm just using humor to try and just like take the tension out of it. Right. Well, Cal, I think this is a good time to take a break. You must be exhausted, Cal.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple of minutes. So.
Okay, so why don't we take a 5-minute break and come back on the hour? Does that work for everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And Daisy, I've got to say, gosh, I feel for you with your ice pack and your head, and yeah, so just well done for sticking it out, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's it. I'm going to feel rough either way. I might as well be here.
Yeah, good. All right, I'll see you all in a minute.
First and second.
Are you singing, Cliff?
Sorry?
Are you singing?
No, I'm not actually. No, I'm boiling the kettle to make a cup of tea.
Oh, okay. I thought you were singing a song. Right, 1 minute past. Okay, Claire, do you want to build the container? Sorry, Claire, why don't you build the container?
Can I pass today?
Sure, of course you can,
Thanks.
but you can't. No, of course you can.
Thank you.
Lisa, you want to give it a try?
Go on then.
Go on.
Let us build the container. So let's start with the check-in, please. I'm checking in all fine and dandy. And now I'm going to choose Daisy.
I'm feeling rough as rough can be. Oh, yeah, I feel rough. I'm looking forward to this next hour and getting it done. No offense to everyone. So I can go back to bed. I'm gonna pass this to Cliff. Cal. I'm gonna go for Cal.
Cheers, Daisy. Yeah, I'm happy. Nice little break. Happy to come start fresh. Yeah, good. And I will pass to Claire.
Yeah, I'm all right. Just out of breath. Ran downstairs and outside for a vape and rushed back up the stairs within 5 minutes. So a bit out of breath, but I'm all right.
Who are you taking, Claire?
Pass to Cliff.
I'm feeling refreshed and looking forward to the next session. And I will pass to I don't know who hasn't checked in.
Katie.
Katie.
Thank you. I'm checking in feeling forgotten. Thank you, Cliff. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit giddy, I think is the word. A little bit. Is giddy? Yeah, I feel giddy. There you go.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing, as in enthusiastic, giddy, a bit silly, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay,
And-
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to you, David.
Yeah, so I check in relieved. Katie's feeling giddy, and it's a good thing. All right. Okay, so where should we take it now? Yep, the kind of the.
That was my question.
Sorry, yes, good. Thank you. Back to you. So you keep facilitating now, Lisa. Brilliant. Go for it.
Oh. So the last session, we talked about communication and having understanding of maybe people's needs and not maybe just thinking, oh, we've been let down, that kind of thing, trying to think of the bigger picture and look at circumstances and that kind of stuff. So where would we like to take the container now? Anybody? Anything burning? So that the conversation stemmed from the David asked about the challenges that we were currently facing. So if there's anything else anyone wants to add. So we've talked about communication. Maybe we should just go around and see if there's any other challenges that people want to discuss specifically. Cliff, do you have anything?
Yeah, maybe understanding. Learning to understand others a little bit more as well as ourselves.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Just following on from what we were talking about earlier, really, just being a bit more mindful of the situation others may be in without really knowing, and just sort of taking it off the top of the bat that, you know, they're being unreliable. I mean, there's always a reason why they're being unreliable, and being a little bit more understanding of the situation that others may be going through.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Callum, obviously you weren't around for the first bit. Is there any challenges you think that maybe might be worth discussing?
No, just my only, obviously I don't know what was discussed earlier, but my only thought on what Cliff said is like, you know, if you've got someone who's unreliable because their situation is such that they're going to be unreliable, like, I think it's all right to go, that's your situation and like, that's okay. But it's like, doesn't work for us at the moment. And I don't think that should be, I don't think that should be a problem.
Yeah.
I think something you said earlier, Cliff, was pertinent, is, you know, people don't always know exactly what they're signing up for. You know, they have this enthusiasm, they want to give back, they want to be involved, but that actually it's not clear what that entails. And maybe, you know, that's part of, since this is an I thing, part of my responsibility as well, to ensure that when people do come through the system, that they are made aware of exactly what's expected of them. Maybe that would help. I mean, you're always still going to get the situation, but, you know, if we do as much as we can, then we've done our job, so to speak.
I think you're totally right, Katie. I mean, a lot of people come into, you know, this volunteering thinking like, yeah, I'm going to volunteer, I'm going to give up my time, and, you know, I want to do this and I want to do that. But they don't really realise what they're letting themselves in for, because it is a big commitment. It's not just volunteering and, like, you know, turning here and there whenever they can, or whether they're not doing other things. I mean, you know, I think that people need to be a lot more aware of exactly what it is that they're letting themselves in for before they do it. I mean, yeah, it's great giving back, it's great being involved, it's great giving, you know, your time, but it's a massive commitment. You know, it's not just a little willy-nilly commitment, it's a massive commitment because other people rely on us. You know, what you're doing, if you're going to do it, okay, like what Cal said, you know, if the time's not right because you can't do it, or you can't do this, or you can't do that because of certain things, don't be afraid to step back and say so, you know.
I think sometimes it can be hard for people to, well, sometimes it's hard for myself to identify when I need to take a step back, because I will push myself until my chronic illness goes, no, you've now got to lie in bed for 2 days because you've done too much, you've pushed too hard. And I think the same can be said for some other people. Like, you want to find that balance, but especially going from obviously the life that most of us have had, we don't know how to find that balance. So no, go ahead.
Sorry, I thought you finished.
No, go.
Oh, what I was going to say, I think it looks different for different people as well as individuals, and I think that's where we need to recognise, you know, that some people might be able to give, you know, 3 or 4 days solid a week, and others may only be able to give one. You know, and that's okay. Yeah. And it's trying to find a way. Again, I suppose it comes back to what we're doing anyway. We're, you know, respecting the environment we're working in, and it's sort of meeting people where they're at. Yeah. And one day, you know, someone can only offer a day. That's fine. That's just as valuable. But I suppose again, it's around knowing that at the outset, and what you were saying, Katie, around the expectations and the understanding of what you're doing, so that people are aware of those, and those can sort of be set at the outset a bit better.
And I think having like open communication with people so that you can help them identify when they are pushing too hard or doing too much, you know, because sometimes I need someone else to go, you need to take a break, because I'll just, you know, keep going until my body tells me no, or someone goes, you need to take a break. And I think having open communication with people really helps, because they can kind of help you identify when you are struggling. And then, you know, we can help them go, maybe you don't do it this week, maybe you come back next week, take a little break, refresh, recharge, and start again, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you're right, Daisy. I think sometimes, like, I like line one thing up after another, and then someone will go, "You look tired," and then that little sentence, and I'll go, "Oh yeah, I am actually. Like, I need to like fit a day in somewhere where I haven't really got much to do."
Yeah.
Daisy, I really liked what you said then about our backgrounds, because we don't always know when we're doing too much ourselves. Like we'll just say yes, 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 yes. And it's about looking at the people that we're working with.
Can we just stop a second as Clarissa has joined? Can we just do a quick check-in from Clarissa, please?
And happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Clarissa.
Clarissa.
Happy birthday.
But if we can just have a quick check-in and then I'll sort of just do a quick recap and tell you where we are with it, what we've discussed so far.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm Clarissa. I'm a Royal volunteer, and I am also extremely tired after meditation yesterday.
Thanking you. So sort of picking up where we just sort of stopped you there for a minute. The first hour we were talking around, we were bringing challenges to the container around things that we found challenging, and the conversation sort of went down basically the route of communication and having an understanding of, you know, like where people don't show up to things they're going to, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Also respecting that the area that we work in is quite a difficult field to manage that. Everybody's got different things going on in their own lives. It's unavoidable sometimes. So there was a lot of discussion around that. So then we just had a break, and then we're just sort of trying to pick it up again looking at the challenges faced. And Cliff brought it up around understanding individuals' personal challenges, which has obviously then led to Cal and Daisy obviously saying about they're not always aware of themselves. And I can probably second that when you have done too much and you need to take a bit of time out. So that's where, if you put that on the other foot, is like, okay, that's fine. You recognize it when you're jogged a bit, but if you've already committed to do something, then you're going to need to uncommit. And then you're in a situation like when you're trying to organize it in an organization where potentially then we haven't got a group covered and we need to cancel it, that kind of stuff. So I think with the discussion is basically around that as a general, you know, having that understanding, and or maybe respect is the word for each other's different, you know, needs as well. So I think that's okay. Does anyone want to add anything to that? Like what I've said there regarding recapping? I don't think there was anything else.
No, I think you got it.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to add something. I want to say, well done, Lisa. That was great.
Well, thank you.
Trying to juggle when someone comes in, and then, you know, when do you bring the person into the container? How do you summarize when the container was rolling so nicely? So I get that. Well done, Lisa.
Well, thank you.
Good. Okay, so let's keep going.
Yeah, so do we want to pick it up? I think the last thing was Clarissa was saying, obviously, about what Daisy had said.
Yeah. I think, do you know what's really interesting? I've just had this conversation with someone else about the actual profession that the life, I don't know what the word would be, but worried about using the wrong word, you know. A lot of us, the life experiences that we've had, or the lived experience we've had, is it can be that we just are people pleasers. We want to do, we don't stop, and then we burn out.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, for me, it would be almost like we almost, like, I understand what you just said, Lisa, about letting people down, but how are we able to be aware that when our colleagues are
I don't think you necessarily can. It's like,
No.
I think that's what we're saying, isn't it? So like where
Mm.
Callum and Daisy said, and I'm probably very much the same. You don't always notice it yourself.
No.
And it's not about, we're not letting people down as such, but it's around people just see that, well, they said they'd do that and then they can't, without understanding the bigger picture. And I think the conversation was around actually just taking that moment to think actually what's going on for them as to why they can't do that now, rather than, what, they've let us down, that kind of thing. So just sort of bringing that other
But it also
layer into it.
It also is a letdown though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's not just that one person. It's if it's like Cliff's where he does his calf or drop-in centre thing, you're talking a group of people, and yes, we can be empathetic around what's going on, but for the person, the individual, Cliff didn't know he was going to get COVID last week.
No.
But yeah, it's just how do we have that backup plan in place, I suppose.
Yeah, but if he was dedicated to his job, he would have shown up and gotten everyone else sick.
But that's just one perspective.
You're
That's
right
one
now.
perspective.
Good.
So my question as well now is when does someone's defect of character, for want of a better word, people pleasing, become an asset for the organization? So, for example, if you're working in a bank and you're insecure, you're a people pleaser and a workaholic, it's good for the bank. So sometimes our pathologies are good for the organization, and working in this space, we need to adjust that in a way, because one, we're not here for our own therapy. So like we're here to do a job, to serve a function, and we need to kind of look after ourselves and our shortcomings, for want of a better word. So like Daisy, I'm also a people pleaser. I'm also a workaholic. And when I don't work on that sort of stuff, I can impact the organization because I'm sending out multiple videos at 10 o'clock at night. I'm wanting people to respond. I'm getting frustrated. Well, you haven't fucking done it. I'll do it myself. And I'll take things, the behavior that plays out, which makes the Lero unhealthy. Like in the work environment, you get paid.
Yeah.
And then you get burnt out and then you get fired, and that's fine. Kind of life goes on. In this space, it's slightly different. I like to think. And maybe that's naive of me.
I think that's where, you do have to consciously sort of change your thinking around it. Because I've come from a corporate background. Like you said, I come from banking, like you just said. And they'll just take every single last bit out of you.
Oh, there you go. Yes, of course.
And won't care, it's all just eking that last bit. But I think then now you recognize that that's not a healthy way for people to be. And there's also, a responsibility to make sure that's not happening either, I think. Because in the long term, that doesn't work, does it, for people or your organization?
Is it more simple than that though, that everything we do, we make sure there's 2 people doing it, so then we just need more volunteers?
Well, and that's the ideal, isn't it? That's the blue sky thinking. But I think the problem is in a situation where you've got 2 volunteers and one of them drops out, that's your issue as well. So
I meant 2 people like
reserves.
Before you go and start doing more and more stuff and opening more and more things, do we make sure that we've got enough volunteers in place to run what we're running already successfully?
Let's explore that quickly.
That's a really good point, and it's something that I've always felt really strongly about. But I will throw a not an objection so much back to that. trying to manage that with people wanting to do things and being
Yeah.
passionate about moving on
Yeah.
to do things is really difficult, because you do end up with a situation then maybe where things have happened, when things happen and you don't have people to cover those things. So it's trying to rein it in till you've got enough volunteers to do that stuff.
Yeah.
On the other side, being pushed to do stuff
By who?
by volunteers, but people in general. That's the and it's the balance of trying to manage that to keep people, you know, to keep people safe, to keep people motivated. There's a lot of different, you know, things in the mix.
So if we look at Forward Trust,
Yeah.
So before we go there quickly, Clarissa, I just want to just to keep it really simple. So let's double up on our volunteers. And how does that impact Katie, the volunteer coordinator, who's struggling with onboarding and already coordinating the existing volunteers that you got?
so all right then, rather than double up on volunteers, let's stop doing too much until we can do what we're doing properly.
So,
That would be-
so I'm just playing with the system here. I'm just playing with, just want us to kind of have a look at that as opposed to coming up with the solution straight away, just the impact and the feelings that's happening in the container as yeah. Like, I get you're very like, okay, here's a problem, let's do this to sort out the problem.
And that is very much a solution based way of looking at it, and there isn't always a solution as such. I have come to learn, and it's trying to balance lots of different things to manage a situation, rather than just that seems obvious, let's just not do this kind of thing. But there's also lots of other factors that go into these kind of things.
Like there isn't a solution that doesn't also raise problems at the same time.
Pretty much.
Like you say, if we had more volunteers, then Katie would have more work. Katie would be more stressed. It would take more time to onboard them. If we do less stuff and only work on the projects that we've got currently, then there's a huge population of people out there that's not getting support because we're not doing more things. We're not reaching more people. It's choosing one or the other, isn't it? There's always going to be a good side and a bad side to most solutions and most decisions we're going to make. And I suppose it's weighing that out, isn't it?
I think there's always two ways to look upon it, but if you look upon it from the side that, yeah, we're great, you know, we really want volunteers, you know, and it's like, yeah, you know, the more volunteers, the better. But if those volunteers, they may have good intentions, but they're not adequately trained, we're not going to get what we need from them. So maybe the answer would be to have more in-depth training volunteers before.
I suppose that's right. It's like we were saying earlier in the conversation.
So that goes to onboarding
at the outset, yeah.
And you know, this is definitely a thing. You know, I feel that the welfare of our volunteers should be coming first, and that gets lost along the way because of what is, you know, what we want to do. Again, no solution. You know, some people want to do things, but actually they need help to do things, and we don't always have those resources. So you have people who can do things on their own, but then people who need help to do that. And we want to enable people to do that, but again, it's resources and making sure people.
So if a volunteer can't look after themselves, are they suitable to be a volunteer?
I don't. It's difficult because
I get it. It's a very provocative question.
Because I think people can bring experience, you know, even bringing experience, even if they're not perhaps capable of doing certain things, they can bring their experience, which is always valuable.
Okay.
Sorry, dog emergency.
I want to go back to Clarissa, if that's okay. And Clarissa, just you're going to say something about forward trust and to talk. You were going to say something.
Yeah, just when I first come on to my current role,
Yeah.
there was a
Which
lot of
is?
chaos. Sorry?
Your current role is?
So as a team leader of the day program, there was
Team
a
leader of the day
yeah.
program. Okay, so I just wanted Claire to understand.
Sorry, Claire.
you-
Hello.
No, it's all right.
So when I first come into the program, it was chaos. There was
Mm.
no structure. There was no clear. You know, I like structure, ain't you? I like structure, Claire.
We love structure.
I love structure. There was things moving around, changing, and the idea that I can't think words because I'm getting old now. The rumors were that it was a shit program, yeah, because of what had been said about it, yeah. So I just think that when I say do things like not letting people down, it's about building up that reputation, isn't it? That would just be my, if we can't do something properly, then let's slow down, do it properly, and build that reputation of being a reliable charity that delivers what it says it's going to deliver without running before we can walk. And it might be that you have to get we have to look at getting Katie some help.
So Clarissa, your voice now, is your voice coming from Raw or coming from the Forward Trust?
Raw, but I was using Forward Trust as an example.
Okay, so is Raw a charity?
Yeah.
No.
Well, what?
So it's a non-profit organisation.
A non-profit organisation. Then
we
I'm
have.
just using that as an example, as in
Yeah,
if a reputation is built around
it's very difficult.
letting people down, then it's going to ruin. The foundation isn't going to be there. That's
Right.
my view, the
Okay.
foundation.
So I'm Clarissa. Yep. My role in Raw is kind of program manager or day head, whatever it is. Yep.
Yeah.
And I love structure. And the better the structure is, the better our communication is to the outside world and the experience that people have when they come to our program.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right. Cool. So what are we learning here today? Claire, you're the lone warrioress from Recovery Connections here. You've been taken over by Raw.
I know, I feel very lonely and outnumbered. I was thinking that when you were all talking about your volunteers not being reliable and not turning up when they say they're going to, and I'm thinking, would it not be an idea to ask the volunteers what they want out of being a volunteer and what their goals are?
Great question.
Because if you know what they want out of it, then you can kind of utilize. Don't know what the right words are, but kind of get them to volunteer in places where best suits them, kind of thing. I mean, you may already be doing that. I don't know, but just a thought.
No, I think you're right. I was like, when I come on, and then for the last, I don't know, for the first 20 minutes of that second session, we talk a lot about what are our expectations of the volunteers. And the whole time I was thinking, would it be good, exactly what you just said, like it'd be good to
Well,
understand when they come in, like what are their expectations of, like, first, what are we going to do for them, and second, what are their expectations of what they're going to do. And then Katie's obviously, you know, talking about sometimes people might be in a situation where they want to do stuff, but they need some extra support. So like, if we know that from the outset, then it's more manageable, isn't it? Or we can say, you know, in the future, we might be able to provide that, but at the moment, it's just not realistic.
Yeah, I think gauging people's motivation for volunteering rather than, you know, for instance, someone coming into recovery and thinking, right, I want to do everything for my recovery, and I know I've got to do this and I know I've got to do that, so I want to volunteer. Well, actually, let's break it down. Why do you actually want to volunteer? What is your motivation? Do you want to use it as a step to feel better in yourself? Or do you want to use it as a career path journey? Or do you want to use it to improve your social skills? You know, I think that's definitely something for me to look at on a personal level when we do like interviews and things like that, you know, get a better idea of actually what is their motivation, and not, but then you do have that trouble of them saying what they think you want to hear as well. But then I guess that all comes down to getting to know the person.
Yeah, I totally agree, Katie. It's you know, it's like, what do you want out of what you want to do? You know, not just, oh yeah, you're volunteering, great, come on, jump on board. It's like, what are you volunteering for? Why are you volunteering? What do you want to accomplish out of it? These are the questions that should be asked, rather than just the fact that, oh yeah, great, you want to volunteer, come on, we volunteers, you know.
Yeah.
Right, okay. There's got to be a certain criteria. You know, I know it's not, the bar doesn't have to be raised so high that it's not reachable, but there has to be a certain level.
Yeah, I think you know, their expectations might even be just like you know, in the first couple of months, a clear plan and a bit of guidance, like structure, like you can go here if you want, or you can go here if you want. Whereas I think maybe, I don't know about now so much, but in the past, there's been this sort of situation where, like, people sign up and they're like, "Oh, what do we do?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, Kel, a clearer induction process. You know, yeah, exactly. You know, we have all the onboarding gumph, but actually that's just official shit, if I'm completely honest. You know, it's official shit. What we need is a practical, like you say, okay, so for this first month, maybe you do this, and then we can work towards what you want to do. You know, I think, again, it's communications and it's having these discussions, isn't it, that we don't really get to have, actually, any of us as a group like this.
Yeah.
Now we contemplate.
Well, what I'm thinking is, you see, like, we've got a new volunteer at the minute. It's gone Canterbury, gone Folkestone, getting into it. So it's got a little bit of a pathway. Like, it's working how it's meant to work. And I guess the next question is, you know, where do you go from this point to making sure that continues and they get something out of it, and obviously we get something out of it as well.
Great. So let's now start to move the container to kind of outcomes. Yeah. So what's the homework? What are the things that need to be put into place? So let's go around for each particular role. Like, what does the role need to do? So Katie, let's start with you being the volunteer coordinator. My homework is.
My homework is to explore a better induction process for volunteers.
Wonderful. Okay. What's the difference between induction and onboarding?
In my language, onboarding is the bureaucracy shit that means fuck all, really.
Okay.
Induction is actually the nuts and bolts of what they will be doing on a daily basis, not doing some e-learning on a computer, which does of course have its place, but that is not the nuts and bolts of the daily volunteering role.
Okay, right. Okay. So I would say induction is part of the onboarding process, just like filling out the paperwork is part of the onboarding process, and getting people to understand this is the way we work around here, and getting role clarity and negotiating that with the volunteer as part of the process.
Yeah.
And finding out as well what it is that they want to get out of the process. Because I promise you, if you said, come and volunteer here, we'll give you crack to smoke and you get to keep your clean time, you'll be queuing up. Okay, so let's go to let's hear your wisdom, Cliff. What's your
Me, I don't know. I think maybe we should just look at putting a better framework in position for future volunteers coming through. Like Katie said, I mean, if we can get a better understanding of what they want to achieve through their volunteering, then we would be in much better and stronger position to get more out of them what we would like to get out of them in through their volunteering. It's all very fair and well just taking volunteers on board and not having any direction for them. If we've got a better understanding of what their needs are and what they want to achieve, then we can accustom that to their needs, and in which the end result will be a lot more beneficial for both parties.
Okay,
that's my opinion's worth anyway.
Great. All right, Claire, should we go with you next? What you need to do to get more women to come to your
working on advertisements, getting posters out there, advertising on the website. So I'm going to work on that.
And what does that look like?
Not sure yet.
Okay, so isn't Simon responsible for the website and communication?
Yes, so I'd have to get in touch with Simon to advertise on the website, and I think Norman's pretty good at posters and things, and yeah, so I'd collaborate with him.
Okay, so I'm just trying to make it a bit more like okay, I need to do advertising on this sort of stuff, but I'm just taking a bit further, like who you actually need to talk to
Yeah.
support you in the marketing, as opposed to, oh fuck, now I've got to market this thing, and you're not making use of the resources that have been employed within your organization.
Yeah. No, Simon's a go-to person for that.
Yeah, okay. So Simon, listen here, we've got to get more women onto our program. I'm sitting there by myself. It's bloody hard facilitating a group with one person. In fact, it's not a group, it's just a one-on-one session.
And even when nobody turns up, I mean, I do talk to myself sometimes, but it's just
You put 2 chairs out and talk, and then move to that other chair and just like.
sometimes I get some good feedback.
You got a dry sense of humor. That's fantastic. All right, let's go to Daisy. How's your temperature, Daisy?
Still high.
Okay. And is that a dog or a cat?
Oh, it's a dog. Yeah,
Okay.
he's snoring on my lap.
Jesus, that's a dog, huh?
Yeah. Don't know what my homework could be.
Get well?
Yeah.
So?
Yeah. I've got to ring the doctor tomorrow and figure out what's
Okay.
going on.
Well, let's start with that. You know, it's like, actually, I'm not well at the moment. I need to. Okay.
Yeah.
Lisa?
I've just been scribbling stuff really, because I don't think, and I've learned this hugely, like from working in an organisation and volunteering in an organisation, which pretty much is all volunteers, is very, very different. And the way you manage it, the way you run it, it is hugely different. And that's been a massive learning for me. So even here sitting now is like, there is not one answer to this. There is lots of different things. And when you say like, you know, one thing, so for example, I don't know, an example would be, I don't know, just mentioned about having support for Katie. Well, Katie's a paid position at this current period of time. We wouldn't have any funds available to support Katie for that kind of position. So then the only other support she can get from that is from another volunteer. Then you're back in the same boat. The governance side of it is a pain in the arse, but it's necessary. Because of, you know, there's lots of stuff and lots of elements, and there isn't a one size fits all to this. I get it all. I get it. What everyone's saying is very valid. It is, and it's, yes, maybe more framework. Maybe there needs to be more understanding on both parts, expectations. We got that charter that maybe needs to be introduced more. You know, there's lots of different things and things that we can do. And I think maybe as an organisation, we need to have this discussion, like as an organisation at one of the committee meetings, so everybody can input into that. Because again, the best people to do it are the people that have gone through it. So it's lived experience of people who have gone through that process, who have come into the organisation as a volunteer, and like Callum said, like what's been lacking for them, not having a structure, so a proper induction process, all those kind of things. All of this stuff is all really, really valid. It's just how you translate it and try and make it work in an organisation that is volunteer based is very different to obviously a paid position. So yeah, that's that. I think that's my take from it, is that we probably need to have a really big discussion as a committee to see where we move forward with it.
Cool. Okay, will you put that together as your homework?
I can throw some stuff up there.
Okay. Great. Okay, who's next? Cal or Clarissa? And Clarissa, just so you know, you weren't the only one that was late. Cal was late. Yeah, so,
Yeah, I think
so
she's on mute, but I think
don't think that you're the only one. Like Cal was like just slipped in there about 5 minutes before you, and he's kind of making it as if he's been there the whole time.
yeah, I I was thinking something just whilst Lisa was speaking, but I forgot what it was.
Oh shit! Sorry, that was my humour.
So yeah, I'm sure I'm sure it'll come back to me at some point. The only thing I was thinking really that I can do in my position at the moment is like I put a post up earlier, and I was literally thinking about this, so it's funny that's come up. And I was thinking, I could put on the end of the post looking for volunteers at this meet and greet, and I thought, nah, I don't know, nah, and I wasn't sure, so I didn't put it. But yeah, maybe that's something I could do in the future. I'll give Katie a buzz and chat with her about it.
Okay. Clarissa, you look deep in thought there.
I can't think like of one thing,
Okay. So
if I'm honest.
So think of lots of things.
Turn up on do what I say I'm going to do.
Okay. And just for the record, you guys are allowed to come here when you can at whatever time. So that's the only thing you've got to do is do 20 hours of it. And we're also opening up a class on a Tuesday at did I say 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock?
10.
Huh? 10. Oh God, I've already fucked that up. Okay. All right. So just to and then we'll have other Leros here so people can kind of work out what's working for their area and what's going on. So yeah, great. All right, is that everyone?
Yep.
Okay. So Lisa, what did you learn about facilitating and holding the container?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, I think you did great. I think you did great. All right, everyone. So let's start the checkout. I'm knackered. I'm really knackered on a Thursday. Thursday is my busiest day. So I've spent 8 hours back to back in front of this bloody screen. My eyes are like this. I've got TikTok eyes. When I watch TikTok too much, then I look up and everything's blurred for like 20 minutes. So anyway, I check out with relief. I'm going to go for my walk, and I tag Claire.
I'm happy that this is over today. No offense, but yeah, looking forward to home time. Still got an hour to go before I finish my shift, but yeah, I'm looking forward to doing my homework actually. Hopefully it pays off, so I'm excited for that. Thanks.
Good. Who are you tagging?
Oh, sorry. Carl.
Cheers. Yeah, I'm happy I've come along for an hour. Yeah, what am I doing? I'm gonna go into town, got some bits and bobs to get, got a meeting later, and also like to check out with a happy birthday for Clarissa.
Oh, thank you.
I'll pick someone. Cliff.
Yeah, no, I'd like to check out with happy birthday to Clarissa. I didn't realise it was today, Clarissa, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, I'm sort of grateful for today. My head's obviously not as frazzled as what yours is, David, from being 8 hours in front of a screen. I mean, 2 hours is just about enough for me, but yeah, no, in a good place. And I'll pass it to Lisa.
Yeah, busy day today again as well. So yeah, it's good. It's been good to come on for a couple of hours. Sometimes I've been mainly doing an hour, and it's quite hard to pick it up sometimes when you do that. So it's been good to be on for a couple of hours, and I've been adding up my hours. I'm not far off of doing what I need to anyway now. So we're nearly there.
Good. Yeah, you'll have to tag Daisy because Clarissa dropped off.
Oh yeah, Daisy.
Oh, thanks.
Good choice.
I feel like shit. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm glad I came, but I'm also glad it's over now. so I can go and get this snoring dog off me and go to bed. So yeah, thank you. There's no one else, is there? Katie go.
Thank you. I was nearly forgotten again, wasn't I?
I got
So I'm
you.
feeling forgotten again. I'm feeling, see, today already I've been working on some stuff to implement some new things before this. So now my brain is very busy with stuff. But that's good. You know, I feel okay with that. And I will go and do something nice in a bit as well, just to give my brain a relax. So yes.
Did you say a relapse or a relapse?
Relax. Not a bloody relapse. If I was going to do that, I certainly wouldn't be announcing it on here. I tagged Clarissa.
Thank you. I'm no cards or presents yet. I'm gonna go and do that now. With my family. They're all waiting for me. So I'm checking out, feeling grateful for yesterday. It was a really well turned out event. So well done everyone, and a bit tired from it. Thank you. And I
What happened yesterday?
we had a wellness day.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Made me very well, clearly.
It was a raw event, so yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
And I tag David.
Cool.
No, we're done. Am I the last one?
Yep.
That's because you hopped off.
I didn't. I forgot to put. Yeah, I forgot to
Yeah.
plug the computer in. Sorry.
It's all right. Oh, all right, everyone. I'll see you next week.
Tassy,
Yep.
bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you
It was a bit-
later.
it was a bit hard
Good
getting
rest
the
of your
plane
birthday,
off, but we got
Clarissa.
there in the
Bye.
end.
Huh?
I said it was a bit hard in the beginning getting the plane to take off, but we got there in the end.
That's when I have to zip my mouth shut because I can't bear the silence. And that's when I keep wanting to jump in. And this is where I'm learning. So I'm trying.
Good. Good. All right,
See you
everyone.
later.
Get well
Bye.
soon. Daisy,
Bye.
happy birthday, Clarissa.
Thank you.
Bye.